It's a brand new day and we are ready for the first topic of this new day. And of course, the topic now is next generation commercial vehicle. There's a lot to talk about and I'm excited to have once again on my side, Dr. Holger Hettich, dream team, I think I can say by now.
I think you're starting to become that dream team, yes.
So excited to have you here with me. And are you ready for the second day and what can we expect in this topic?
I'm absolutely ready, always. And we can expect now really talking about what's the future of transport, what's the future of logistics, what's the future of the commercial vehicles, trucks, trailers, and buses, and how do the different trends, so we all know, talks about autonomous vehicles, connected vehicles, electric vehicles, how will that impact us in the aftermarket?
Right, excited to find out more. And we have three guests here with us. Excited to welcome Philippe Colpron. You are the Global Head of ZF's Aftermarket Division. Also, we have Marco Neubold.
Hello.
And your title is Global Head of Business Line Industrial Aftermarket and New Mobility. And last but not least, Alex Rabinovic. You're the Global Head of Business Line Commercial Vehicle Aftermarket. So fantastic having you all here. And I'm really looking forward to discussing this topic about the commercial vehicle. So Philippe, maybe we can start off with you. Can you tell us a little bit about the trends that are actually shaping the commercial transportation industry?
Definitely. First, we need to realize how critical commercial vehicles are to our industry. You can think of heavy trucks in the mines. Yesterday we were talking about mobility, and we know how public transportation through buses, how critical it is to improve the congestions in the cities. But let me maybe deep dive on the cargo transportation on the road, the truck-trailer combination. We rely completely all around the globe to have these commercial transports to get the goods into our stores, into our homes. And we have realized also during the pandemic how even if we could not go out, we had to get goods to keep eating and getting elements delivered. You can imagine how e-commerce, for example, is also putting a lot of pressure on the commercial vehicle industry. We as consumers, us as society, we request and we require goods to arrive in quality, in time, more and more accurately. We will be there between 2 and 4. Please make sure to be there. It's fundamentally part of what we expect from transport companies. So arriving on time is what we expect, and what we deliver in aftermarket is uptime solutions. Can you imagine, let's say, if a company, a good transport company, is going to have unexpected downtime, they fail on their mission of arriving on time. So for me, it's very important that we realize that uptime is an essence, a business essence in this commercial vehicle industry. However, it is the prerequisite. There's so much more regulation, compliance. We were talking about how we want all to be a sustainable planet, so we expect sustainable transport. We want safety. We expect definitively that those professional transport companies are at the heart of making sure we're having safe transportation. So growing requirements, the consumer expect more on one side from these companies and more constraints. Pressure on the costs, pressure on competitiveness, shortages of drivers to get our demands happening, plus regulation, sustainability. So these fleets are a bit squeezed. And I think it's very important that we find solutions to help them.
Absolutely. I think it's more crucial than ever because Philippe just mentioned all the challenges there as well in that aspect.
Yeah, and that kind of squeeze pressure, so to say, that our fleet customers are feeling, is real, and it's now. Although there are many demands that are coming from the future, as you expected, from society and what we all expect, in terms of public transportation, in terms of good transport, etc. But the pressure is now already, and so the question for us is, how can we help them, the customers, to cope with that pressure and to be prepared for that future and to fulfill that needs of the society?
The pressure is on, definitely, Philippe. And considering all these challenges that you just sort of also mentioned, what is your vision of ZF Aftermarket?
I think we are creating a portfolio really to become a partner to those fleets, to continuously improve their efficiency. you can start from the technology on board the vehicles. I think through the merger between Wapco and ZF, we have now really an unmatched portfolio across the vehicle, from the truck, trailer, bus side that can deliver increased safety, better efficiency, help them to go from what the vehicle used to be towards this electrified, more autonomous vehicle. Technology can also be to help them automating their yards, for example, so they gain efficiency. Efficiency is something that we need to maybe speak a little bit about because it's professional companies, they are there to be profitable, but I estimate there's about 1 trillion euros of inefficiencies in the way we operate transport and logistics today on the road. So there's a lot still to be gained on automating things which are not necessary. So starting from the technology on the vehicle, continuing with, I think, leading aftermarket services because we need the uptime. That's why we have our partners, our aftermarket network, lifetime solutions that I'm sure Alex and Marco will explain about. And then the third layer that I would say is what more can we add putting the solutions together and adding digitalization? I think we're proud, and we will speak about today, of the digital services that we can provide, building upon fleet management connectivity, but enhancing it with our ingredients to make sure that we keep adding value on safety, on efficiency, and uptime. Zero emissions, zero accidents, zero downtime. I think that's what we would be striving for.
So it's still a way to there, but I guess you're definitely already on the way, on the best way. And in regards to, we just heard about the vision of ZF Aftermarket and also about the industry needs. But Alex, let's talk about our customers. And also there was a recent merger between ZF and Vapco. Perhaps you can tell us something about that.
Sure, Verena. As Philippe was already mentioning, now by merging those two companies, we are starting to have a very unique and outstanding portfolio with more than 90,000 different products which could be used to be replaced in vehicles and grant the uptime. We are talking about now having a unique network with more than 4,000 partners globally, starting from the north in Russia and Yakutsk, going forwards to China, moving to Cape Town, Beijing, to Dubai, to North America and Detroit, because goods are moving. So it's our job and it's our vision to keep the goods moving and create uptime, as Philippe was mentioning, by being there with a workshop network, with the trained mechanics, which we offer through our academy services, and with a diagnostic to make sure that it could be detected.
And now looking at the merger, also the portfolio in this environment, and together with the synergy, what good does that do? I mean, it's obviously fantastic having these two together.
I think it's extremely complementary for the truckers as such. I would like to make a bold statement saying that we do believe that within the commercial vehicle, we offer the broadest amount of a portfolio and of solution in this industry while merging now those two companies together.
It's a bold statement, but I guess I saw some of you nodding, but Holger?
Yeah, and I think I would like even to add something to your bold statement, Alex. I think we can honestly say that no other company is leading both in the commercial vehicle aftermarket and also on the passenger car aftermarket, so everything for passenger cars in terms of parts and services. So I think this is a unique footprint, only possible now with the integration of Vapco and the strength of that service and parts portfolio. So I think we can be really proud.
Yeah, and I could maybe add on that if you're thinking about good movement, good transportation, at a point in time, you can disconnect yourself from what kind of vehicle do we operate, because you can start with a heavy vehicle on the highway, then you need to automate the yards in the logistics center, you need to go in the city through smaller applications that you can reuse knowledge from the people mover that we were showing yesterday. So that competency of being capable of operating across vehicle segments, I believe, becomes a strength definitively in the evolution of transportation as a service.
And there are, I think, two things happening, right? So on the one hand side, we see that there are more and more mixed fleets. So everything what we will talk about today in terms of fleet solutions for commercial vehicles, at the end is also applicable to passenger car fleets and companies increasingly having a mixed fleet mixed fleets. And another thought I would like to add maybe to the discussion is that yesterday, and Philippe, you were also here on stage, and Marco, you as well, we discussed about the next generation of pass cars, and we talked about these kind of robot taxis and automated cars, and then it was very close to the people movers. So people movers, cargo movers, so things are moving together. So I think it's great to have that strength of being strong on the pass car side and also strong on the commercial vehicle side.
There really is obviously a lot going on in this industry, and I mean, when I think back years ago, a truck was a truck, and now these commercial vehicles are just so smart, and they have to be. And I mean, there were so many points we talked about already why we know that's exactly the way. Electrification of fleets is definitely also a very, very crucial topic. So why exactly, Marco, is this electrification so important, so crucial in these fleets?
Yeah, well, first of all, when speaking about fleets, and I think Philippe just said it, we speak about commercial business. That means total cost of ownership is important, and efficiency is one of the largest topics within that discussion. Having said that, when it comes to efficiency, we see that a lot of cities, a lot of countries, communities are putting stricter legislation in place when it comes to CO2 emission. Yeah? So they are forcing fleets, all kinds of fleets, to reduce their carbon footprint. And there, of course, electrification comes into the game and is one of the relevant solutions. And when we speak about electrification, let me just give you two examples. How we also support the fleets there. So one topic is that we, of course, can provide relevant products, whether this is an electrified axle for a central drive or for a low-floor bus application in the cities like we have it in Europe. But we also do services on those activities, just mentioning, for example, the Retrofit Activity, where we convert diesel-driven buses today into electrified vehicles. Yeah? And all has the target to reduce CO2.
And that's absolutely essential. I mean, we've been talking about that all day yesterday. That's definitely the aim, and that's what you're going for.
And it's going to be a topic today as well. So we will have deep dive sessions also on what does electrification mean for the commercial vehicle business. And we'll also talk about later about remobility and Retrofit, however you call it, so converting combustion engine vehicles to electric buses.
And so many paradigms can be changed if you're thinking about let's optimize the energy of moving goods, because you're talking about electrifying a combustion engine, but commercial transport of goods, like let's say a truck-trailer combination, has a trailer. We've always looked at the trailer as something pulled by the truck that has the engine, but now with the electrification of the axles and with the space below the trailer, you can reflect, oh, it's not necessarily the truck that I need to electrify, it's the trailer that can help me to also regenerate energy to have greener transport. And we're happy to work on those initiatives.
And Marco, also maybe you can tell us a little bit about the services that ZF's Aftermarket is offering to fleets and also to workshop partners.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic as well. Alex just mentioned that we we believe we have the strongest portfolio when it comes to CV business. My statement here is we have the strongest service network when it comes to CV business since we joined forces. So just to give you some figures about our global network, we rely on 13,000 distribution points. We know that there are more than 4,000 service partners, so mostly workshops that are working with our products. And we have 650 so-called specialized service partners that really know how to deal with complex products, axles, transmissions, electrified products. And let me just make that statement, as Philippe just spoke about the trailer as well. Lots of those service partners do not only do commercial vehicle, they are specialized in off-highway applications, so agricultural, where we have the same tendency with the towed elements behind the tractor, yeah, same topic, or industrial applications like rail and marine. And funny enough, often you find those partners in places where you would not expect that. So I just looked it up. Our highest located service partner is in Zipaquirá in Colombia, which is on 2,650 meters on the Andes Mountains. And Alex, I think you mentioned Yakutsk.
The coldest one?
The coldest one, minus 44 degrees,
wow.
is not unusual there. But also there we have a service partner who takes care about the products and the customers dealing with our products. When speaking about this kind of structure, I just want to underline they are doing usually a lot of different things. So spare parts, selling and distribution is maybe the easiest part, but repair, overhaul, predictive maintenance, and even sending out flying doctors in cases of emergency is part of the service portfolio. And the second topic I would like to emphasize here is training. We as ZF believe heavily in training. Training is needed and required, so we do a lot of training with our products, for our partners, with our partners. And not only face-to-face, especially in times of COVID pandemic, we quickly adapted and learned that online trainings and blended learning approaches are a very useful thing. And it turned out to be very, very good and also well received from the customers. And as we are here in the electrification session, I need to underline high voltage training as one of our current Starship activities there, because there's a huge market demand from all kinds of customer segments.
But you're growing all this time, year for year. But then now with the epidemic, it really was challenging because, as you mentioned, I mean, you needed to adapt everywhere.
Absolutely. We needed to adapt the way we train. We needed to adapt the train how we, the way how we deal with customers, and vice versa, of course. But as Philippe said at the beginning, we saw that a lot of our activities are system relevant. The transportation, the good transportation, was in almost all countries where we had shutdowns and lockdowns system relevant. Yeah, so of course we needed to make sure via our structure and via our partners that goods are still moving and that system relevant topics are still running. And I think this is also a key takeaway. And maybe a personal note as a last statement, I think we all learned that we can work in a different way like we did in the past and still be close to customers and fulfill our job like we are here today.
And as a leader, as one of the leaders of ZF, I mean, I see your face the whole time, and I almost think that I can see that you're also really proud of how you guys manage this.
Yes, of course, but I don't want to add to the saying like a proud and strong. I think you see us happy and smiling, but also because we are thinking of, like I was thinking, are the coldest and the highest ZF service partner also watching today? But I think there's also some concerns. We need to be concerned as well. Yeah, we cannot just sit back and relax and say, okay, it's all going to be good. So when you see all, and we walk quite fast through all these kind of different trends that are shaping the commercial vehicle aftermarket and fleet solutions, and how to bring our partners along. Also now with a challenge that some of these trainings, hopefully not all of them, are going to be virtual. So how do we manage this? Unfortunately, I have the feeling that it's too much change at the same time. So, and scoping with this really needs focus and support and great partnership and solutions, because we are in this together. We are in the same transformation as our customers. So we offer the help, and I think this is a huge challenge. So if you're asking, like, am I smiling because I'm proud? Yes, but I'm also a bit concerned how to manage this in such a short time frame. Yeah?
Philippe, I'm pretty sure that you're thinking the same as Holger there. But I mean, you're saying maybe it's going a bit too fast, but it's not like you have a choice, right?
No, exactly. And I think this element of doing it together is the key. There's so much benefit that we can bring to the end users. There's so much pressure that we need to relieve them. If everybody goes standalone, bringing solutions, we just make it more difficult for the market to change and to accept. And we can learn from each other. We can help each other to make sure that we provide a combined value to the society and to the commercial vehicle industry.
Alex, there are a lot of changes in mobility. What exactly does this mean for the service partners? And also, how does the increasing digitalization actually influence them?
Well, I think my colleagues were mentioning already a couple of challenges which are ahead of us, which we cope with. I think, first of all, the shift from training to e-learning has been a big effort. But we went through this with our partners because we know it's so important for us to enable them to be trained, to know what to repair, to know how to repair, and we see it as our job to provide this value to them. On the other side, if you look at the diagnostic and this development where it is going to, now partnering with those two worlds, we can provide a heavy value to the customers by having a system in place which we can diagnose the majority of the products on a vehicle. Now looking forward into the way how the industry is moving, we are talking about safety, we are talking about efficiency. So I think, and we will speak even later about it in the part of the sustainability, but it's worth definitely to mention that we give more than 2,000 different vehicles a second life every year, by enabling them, by retrofitting them with solutions, which sometimes go even ahead what the OE industry does with lane departure warning, which we used it in Australia, even ahead of the time lane departure warning was already equipped on OE vehicles. And I think looking into that, we see ourselves as a partner in uptime to support the fleets, to support the workshops and distributors. And as Holger was rightfully saying with Philippe, we are in it together.
But I guess, Holger, sometimes you have to look ahead and take a step in advance, but also I guess it kind of takes a bit of boldness for something like that as well, right?
It takes boldness, and I think you can feel the energy, yeah, that we are really ready for this, that we are passionate about it, that we want to do it together with our customers. You have heard our new claim, together in motion, and probably you've also seen it in the videos. So we want to say we are together in this with you as our customers, the fleets, the workshops, repairing commercial vehicles, and also all kinds of other vehicles, as you know, that our range is really bright broad. And yes, it's a big challenge. We offer these kind of services. And yes, you need to be bold. You need to be bold, you need to invest, you need to act. I think we cannot wait anymore. Yeah? We cannot stand still, we cannot just maintain the status quo. So we really shape the future together and go it step by step in terms of, for example, in terms of digitalization, where we really have these concrete offers.
Together in motion is a slogan I really do like. And Philippe, I guess with everything that you were talking about, it's a claim that couldn't be any better and more on the point, right?
Well, I think it's when it came out, we all feel attached to it because we believe in it. The aftermarket has always been about networks and helping our customers. So this togetherness, I believe you've been hearing it quite a bit because it's what we want. It's what we have always brought to our customers, to our partners in shaping this. And in motion, it's the industry we serve on one side, but mainly we want to go for it. We want to shape it.
And you are shaping it. I mean, you really are going full speed. And Marco, sometimes, obviously, we talked about so many challenges already. We're also talking about, on the one hand, you have challenges. On the other hand, you have opportunities. So in your role that you play, obviously, you don't have a choice. You have to go along with it. But also, it makes it exciting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, the challenge is also always an opportunity. And especially when we speak about service, and we're discussing here about service and service offers, we look into the future because we know what kind of products and technology is coming, is developed, and we try to prepare ourselves and our partners, which is challenging on the one hand side because we have a broad network, as mentioned, but on the other hand side, which is also very interesting because we also got a lot of feedbacks from those customers and partners, from the markets, from local adaptations, and so on and so forth, which make us stronger again together, because it's not a one-way direction. And I think that's it all about partnership.
Absolutely. And Philippe, to be honest, how far are we really away from a fully digitalized commercial vehicle landscape? What would you say?
When we're talking about digitization, it can take various forms. And just taking the example of a fleet, as we were talking to the fleets, many of them will say, I have digital solutions because I operate through software to help me manage my operations. I have connectivity that tells me where is my vehicle. So to some degree, you could say there is digitization in the workshops, in the diagnostics, through e-learning. But I think it's not even the tip of the iceberg, definitively, because it's still many fragmented solutions. Still very fragmented, which adds complexity instead of removing complexity. So I think there will be this need, number one, to bring coherence, simplicity, and partnerships. The era of digitization is also the era of exchanging data, always in the respect of privacy and GDPR, but in a way that you can start adding value. Because our solutions are not yet intelligent in terms of really duplicating through artificial intelligence solutions that can really tackle those inefficiencies and also start automating decision-making that bring that effectiveness and, in the end, end-user satisfaction.
And you're talking about automation. Now we heard about, for example, humanoid robots in the news in the recent days. And I love this question. If you look into the future, let's say in 30 years, what do you think will road transportation really look like?
Well, I think first of all, we will still need it. We need to bring goods to our homes. We will continue to consume. So I think whether we need it for transporting goods or whether it's to transport people, there is an element of road transportation which is at the heart of what runs in the economy of physical elements. But yes, there will be a lot of automation. We saw yesterday the people movers. It is already a robot because there's no operators in it. It's fully artificial. It's fully supercomputing that operate the vehicle. We talk about see, think, act, which is the principle of the robotization. But also, if you're thinking of good transportation, it is an element of service. So even if you start having level of automation, you still need people to manage the customers, to manage how do I move the goods in and out, to manage the administration logistics of managing being between a customer and a shipper. So I think that there will still be a big role for the humans in order to make sure that there's this service element to it, but you can automate many elements. Yards is a good example. You will start having different type of robots in the logistics centers in order to have efficiency, safety gains, while you will have humans focusing on other type of tasks.
Holger, you were saying that the speed of things, the way things are changing is really, really fast. And sometimes I think when I hear about automation or about a shuttle without a driver, do you sometimes think that maybe for the people, because I mean, they have to say, okay, I'll do it. They have to go along. Do you think sometimes it's even going a little bit too fast, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that always depends on what kind of situation are you. Yeah, as Philippe said, like some of the tasks will change. You might have a different job then, and you didn't say it, but that future that you just described, it's probably gonna be with less or with almost no drivers. So bus drivers or truck drivers might have a different job in 30 years. Yeah, talking about 30 years and not the next years. But I think looking now from an aftermarket perspective, this also means that uptime is going to be even more important because these trucks don't need a night break at a gas station, yeah, so that the driver can get some sleep. So they will be kind of operating 24 hours, 7 days a week. And what this means for the service now, it must be a lot more reliable. The solutions must be there on time, and the fleets will really demand that we're gonna decrease that downtime of the vehicle. And another aspect maybe to add is, Philippe, I think you closed the loop a bit to your opening statement where you said, this is all from society demand. So when you are saying, Verena, will we like it? Can we handle it? Yeah, what does it mean? Is it maybe too fast? Yeah, I'm thinking we want it. Yeah, so we as consumers, we order something online, and we like that kind of same-day delivery or next-day delivery, and of course, these future transportation systems for goods and people are helping us to get goods faster, to come from city A to city B faster, etc. So.
And let's remember that what we demand is also something which is cost competitive. And you were talking about total cost of ownership. If we're talking about commercial vehicle, usually we also refer to heavy vehicles because you need to carry heavy loads. You could think about what will be the role of drones, but yes, there will be applications for that, but you will still have heavy goods to move at a point in time. And probably, like we were discussing yesterday, there will be modular routes. You will have hub-to-hub highway transportation to move at a certain weight, while when you come closer to the city, you will have a different type of modularity in order to make sure that you respect what the citizen of the urbanization will expect. And being in the transformation of this industry, whether it's about people mobility, whether it's about cargo movement, it's understanding there will be modularity that we need to serve along the chain.
So Marco, you're nodding your head. You're really agreeing on this as well. Is that your thought as well?
Yes, because looking back to yesterday and to the shuttle topic, when we started with this activity, we said it will not replace directly other forms and means of transportation. But it will be a completion, it will be a use case in some areas, yeah, and will come in. So yes, change is fast, and new technology sometimes, well, do not want to say is scary, but it needs time to adapt to it. But it was the same when the first car was driving on the street. And let me say that because I was born and raised at the Bertha Benz Memorial Route where the first car was driving. So when Carl Benz invented the first car, the first horse carriage without horse, like the people said, people were scared until his wife proved by a drive, was her, not him, that it works. So I think quality is an important topic. Yeah? Technology needs also to have a certain level of quality that people see and can rely on it. And I think that's also an important lesson.
And Alex, your thoughts on that?
I'm thinking about how not only how the technology will evolve, but also what is the role of us, how we're going to play in it, and what we can support our customer with, because they would be literally looking to us as their partner to say, what do you have for me? What is in the game for me? How can you support me going down the road? While all those things changing, and referring to that, I think what we commit, even beyond having a bold statement on CV, and I hope to get my colleagues buy in there, but we also commit to be on our customer side around the globe. Doesn't matter where it is, but really be there with solution to support them in this journey, independent where they are and in what step we are going.
Holger, do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to add, because we're of course talking to many aftermarket customers here, and we were talking yesterday about risks and opportunities of the transformation. There's a lot of opportunities there, because we want to improve total cost of ownership. We need to improve safety. We can invest to improve uptime, because saving time has a payback. And this brings retrofit opportunities for our distributors, better maintenance program for our service partners. So I think this is definitely an area of opportunity for the aftermarket to also develop growth strategies, bringing new solutions, instead of somehow just waiting for the part to be exchanged.
Referring to what you said earlier, Holger, perhaps allow me to ask the question, do you think that maybe now is even a time where you need to help the partners even more and give them a hand and guide them even more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think, Alex, you mentioned it. We are there locally. Yeah, so yes, we are now talking in this kind of global setting on an international trade show in a digital way, but also in the past it was similar on the physical trade show. We need to be there, and we are there locally to support the partners with basic things, with advanced things, like starting from introductory trainings to more advanced trainings with the flying doctors, with our ZF service partner network, with our digital fleet management solutions, etc. And everyone who's interested in learning more about this has the opportunity throughout the day and throughout the full Automechanika, all 3 days, to click into the different section, workshop area and fleet area to learn more about this. What are we doing? How are we supporting? What are the latest activities of ZF Aftermarket to really be on the side of our customers throughout this journey?
And I guess it's also that the customers really demand more and they're really asking for it. I mean, it's exactly what you said, but it's the one thing what you offer, it's the other thing what's demanded.
Absolutely. And I think because we are in a commercial vehicle industry, it's a B2B business. I think it's extremely important. It's also the value we would like to provide is getting our customers competitive in their business, what they do. As what Philippe was mentioning, like what can we offer to support them to upgrade the vehicle regarding to new regulations? What can we do to support them to make a vehicle live longer regarding the lifetime and the total cost of ownership? And I think looking at the journey, I do feel, and I think we as a team are proud, but also we would like to live the feedback and also the experiences of our customers that we are properly equipped all together to go into this journey.
And I'm sure you're on the best way, definitely. New generation commercial vehicle maybe coming to a close slowly. Holger, I guess it never gets boring.
It never gets boring. I think thanks to my colleagues for that great start in our second day of the Automechanika. I think we touched a couple of topics. What does digitalization, what does electrification, what does automated driving in these kind of cargo cargo and people movers mean for our market and for our customers. And throughout the day, as I said, we'll have more chance to talk about it and to share our knowledge with our customers.
And I'm really looking forward to it. So Philippe, Marco, and also Alex, thank you so much. Holger, of course, I'll see you in the next topic, that's for sure. But now, as closing this topic, we have a statement from Erik Wirsing. He is the Vice President Global Innovation at DB Schenker. So he will talk about the future of logistics. So here's a little film for you, and we'll see you later. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Erik Wirsing. I'm the Vice President Global Innovation at DB Schenker. So we're a logistics company. As you all know, logistics has to tackle many different challenges at the moment. Of course, one of the biggest challenges that we have to tackle at the moment is the pandemic situation. It's a horrible situation around the globe. Every country is infected, every industry is more or less infected, and we as a logistics company, always sitting somehow between the chairs, have to deal with all legal setups, with all lockdown circumstances, and with everything on the global scale. So therefore, it's always a kind of an agile environment where we are in at the moment. But even this horrible situation with the pandemic also offers new possibilities with new ways of revenue, new business models, and a lot of agile thinking and acting. For example, we also have established now a new air freight charter system, because normally we are not that much in full charter for airplanes. But now with this situation where capacity is very limited on the global scale, we tried now to establish new cooperation with airlines to really have the capacity to support our customers to bring their shipments from A to B. That is one aspect. Of course, the challenges are wide more out there. Of course, one major topic at the moment is sustainability. Sustainability is a topic, it's not only a sentence or a buzzword that everybody is using at the moment. Sustainability must be a part of the DNA of a logistics company. We at DB Schenker, we always try to have a focus on fuel consumptions, what kind of technologies we are using. But of course, here we have a lot of, let's say, pressure also from the market, from legal setups, from cities, from urban environments. We have in Europe roughly 25 to even more cities to come who are closing their doors for diesel trucks. So we are the biggest logistics service provider for land transport in Europe. But our fleet, to be very honest here, is quite small at the moment when it comes to electric vehicle. Hydrogen, by the way, would be even more interesting. So we would love to buy even more electric trucks in the near future, even today, but at the moment they are not available. Even if we would have enough electric trucks, and we do have already some electric trucks in Europe in place, but we would love to have more. But even if we would have even more, then it's the next challenge would be how to feed them with enough power supply. And there, for example, Germany is quite hard. So the power network, to be honest, is not really made for so many electric trucks to come. So as I said, hydrogen would be even a better situation, but there the vehicle possibilities and are even more limited. And of course, the feeding and the support for this hydrogen trucks is something for maybe the next 5 to 10 years to come. But the trucks is one topic when it comes to the urban environment, and many logistic companies are starting to rethink their last mile setup. So you might have seen in several cities and urban environments that cargo bikes are booming. That is one possibility to bring shipments to the last mile or even to pick them up. But it could also not be the answer for everything, because you can imagine with a cargo bike where you can carry maybe 400 to 500 kilograms, what is already a lot on the bike. You can't cover, let's say, a whole city. When you think about Paris, for example, then it's a huge city, and with one cargo bike, you can't drive through the whole city. So therefore, you need somehow mini hubs, so a point within the city where you can have, here, say, a switch between the truck to the cargo bike and vice versa. But now every logistics service provider needs that. And then it's now getting also interesting, who is getting the place and the possibility within the cities for such a mini hub. So that's another big challenge. Maybe one last challenge that we have to deal with at the moment is also the lack of drivers and personnel. So for example, the average age of a professional truck driver in Germany at the moment is 58. So that's quite high. So we are running really out of truck drivers. You might have seen it in the press that UK is already in big trouble after the Brexit. They have a big issue now with finding truck drivers. The salary went up a lot in the last 3-4 years. In some regions, it has more than doubled, but even then, we don't find enough truck drivers. That is a topic why also we as a logistic company have to deal with a topic like automated driving, autonomous driving, and there are some pilot projects already ongoing. One topic that we have to deal, and by the way, in America, the average age is 56, Australia 65. So now you can imagine there's a big topic to come. Even when we have, let's say, less capacity at the moment in land, air, ocean, and contract logistics, because logistics is really, really booming at the moment because people are ordering more or less everything. You know that we are all sitting at home. We had no possibility to go on vacation, holiday, but there are still many, many people who try to bring up their own home offices with a new desk, with a new screen, with a new camera, whatever. So many shipments has to be transported, and therefore there was also a lot of, let's say, transportation needs and capacity shortage. Something that will hopefully be a little bit more relaxed in the next few months, but at the moment we don't see that. So many challenges, many topics, many technologies who are infecting, of course, new way of working, and also the circular economy when it comes to sustainability, because sustainability, just to underline that once more, is not only the fuel, and it's not only about changing from diesel to electric or hydrogen. Circular economy and sustainability is also energy consumption. It's about zero waste. It's about bringing packages out of the city, combination of topics, and maybe also something like we call it bin packer. Bin packer is a kind of a 3D Tetris topic, how to bring the shipments in the best way into a swap body, into a trailer, into a plane to optimize the capacity what you're having. But that's not the end. And of course, there are many startups out there, and we as logistic company, we learn a lot from startups. For example, we have now in our database more than 4,500 startups, and we are really dealing with many of them. We integrated more than 50, and we're also investing. That is something what 10 years ago, no logistic company was really doing, but now we're seeing there many opportunities by cooperating with startups. One topic maybe where we all have to think about what might be there and will be there, I truly believe that, in the near future is heavy lifted cargo drones. So we don't talk in the logistic by smaller drones bringing your pizza to your private flat. No, we are talking about flying 150, 200, and maybe even more kilogram within the urban environment. You know, we have this diesel driving bans, we have less capacity in the cities, no trucks available. So therefore, flying packages, pallets into the urban environment could be and will be the next step. Let's see, it will be really interesting which country might be the first. And of course, maybe a small outlook also into the future, because at the moment we have to tackle all this kind of sustainability, electric trucks, hydrogen trucks, ways of flying and the topics. But in the near future, I think we also will talk about hyperloop circumstances and possibilities, and also space. Logistics in space sounds a little bit weird and quite far away, but believe me, in the next 5 to 10 years, we as logistic company and industry have to deal with these opportunities as well. First, using satellite systems as an IoT possibility here on Earth, but maybe also in the near future, using space to be faster on the other side of the Earth, and maybe then in the next 10 to 15 years, maybe flying to somewhere. So there are great opportunities and great and fantastic new ways of thinking, working. We as a logistic company have to deal with all circumstances on this Earth. So it's absolutely interesting and extremely, let's say, inspiring what's going on within logistics. Therefore, be curious, and our hashtag that we are always using is be hungry for innovation. And that is something what I'm wishing all of you. Be hungry for more, hungry for new things, be open-minded, go for diverse thinking, invite also customers to challenge your own business model and ideas, because many new things are coming. I wish you a fantastic great day and hope to see all of you somewhere on this planet, real life, really looking forward to that. I wish you all the best. I'm Eric from DB Schenker.